Hello and welcome to Loosen the Screws live mini workshop. It's Friday afternoon, back in the live chair. So happy to be here with you. We'll give everyone a second to arrive, give people a moment to get here. And know this was a little bit impromptu, getting back in the swing of doing the lives. Didn't have this one originally scheduled, but after some conversations with a few clients this week, this is a topic that's come up a couple of times. So I just wanted to touch on it here briefly in a live mini workshop type format. So again, welcome. My name is Jordan Schatz. I'm your host here in the group, Loosen the Screws, powerful tools for busy people to beat stress and anxiety. I'm also your host here on this almost weekly live broadcast. As always, these mini workshops are designed to be quick, to be fun, to be informative, and to be full of useful information that you can use right away. We like to focus on stress relief. We like to focus on tools that are active in helping us take on the way we feel in terms of anxiety in this chaotic world of ours. And we like to spend a lot of time focusing on how we can benefit sleep. I don't need to get into the details. I think we're all aware of how much getting good sleep can benefit our physical health and our mental well-being. And in particular, when it comes to dealing with stress and anxiety, when you're better rested, your mind is in better condition to take on forces that we must confront every day, forces that trigger us in terms of stress, in terms of anxiety, how we feel. So we focus a lot on sleep. A lot of the people that I see in my private practice, a lot of the people I coach are for sleep. It is foundational to feeling good. It is foundational to functioning at your best. So we'll get right into this technique right now, because one of the primary ways we can impact the way we sleep is how we think about sleep, how we, what our beliefs are around how we will sleep. Oh, by the way, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Let me know if you can see me okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know what's on your mind. And if you have any questions related to this topic, again, this is a topic that is rich and fertile, and one that is endlessly fascinating to me. So one of the primary things that can impact how we sleep is our expectations, our expectations around how we sleep. Okay. There's several pillars, several layers to constructing a sleep program that is effective and that is reliable and that is all natural. Sleep hygiene, of course, is a big component. The actual techniques and practice you use around falling to sleep, if that's something you have difficulty with, is also important. But what we want to focus on today is the idea of expectations. A lot of people experience stress, experience worry, experience anxiety around sleep, and it's a vicious cycle. You have a night or two of poor sleep, and it gets in your head that, oh, I'm not good at sleep, or I'm an insomniac, or I don't sleep well, or I'm a night person, or these other issues in my life are playing on my mind in such a way that it's making me hard to sleep. The more you think about sleeping badly, the more you are thinking, and the less you are sleeping. The more active your mind is when it's time to go to sleep, the harder it is to go to sleep. And the activity in our mind can often act counter to the tiredness that we should be feeling, or would like to be feeling, or need to be feeling when it's time to go to sleep at night. So for a lot of people, expectations, poor expectations around how they sleep, this kind of worry, this kind of anxiety, is a habit that they've developed over time, habit that they've gotten really good at. And one of the things that we start to unwind when we work on helping people get better sleep, this idea of expectation. If your expectations are you are going to sleep poorly, chances are you're going to sleep poorly. As you sleep poorly, it affects your expectations about how you are going to sleep. And those feelings feed and build on each other. However, if we can interrupt that pattern, if we can start to plant the seeds and change the perspective, to change those expectations around how you sleep. I sleep really well. I fall asleep easily, sleep deeply, get great rest. I wake up feeling energized. You start to change some of those expectations. You start to change that conversation in your mind. You start to change some of those beliefs. It becomes a little bit easier to actually fall asleep. You start to experience some of those things, some of those new expectations, those new beliefs. As you experience them, it reinforces those beliefs. So that same negative pattern, that same negative cycle of thought and result can be flipped and turned with an interruption of that pattern and some new thoughts, some new programming. So people say to me, Jordan, how do I do that? I sleep badly. I sleep badly all the time. That's all I think about. All I think about is how badly I sleep, and I'm fearful when it's time to go to bed. Okay. If you spend a lot of time thinking that way, you can afford to give yourself a little bit of time thinking about something else, thinking about the alternative, using your imagination if that's what it takes at first. And so what we'd like to do is not wait till it's time to go to bed to start to shift these expectations in the moment. We want to take some time away from the moment, some time away from the time where you might be feeling pressure or anxiety or worry about going to sleep, and start to use the power of your mind, power of your imagination to shift those beliefs, to shift those expectations. So during the course of the day, allow yourself a minute or two, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Give yourself some time at lunch. Give yourself some time in the car before you drive home in the evening. But give yourself one or two opportunities to adjust your expectations around sleep. And it can be as simple as taking a minute or two to simply imagine, visualize, meditate, experience in your mind and in your body what it's like to sleep really well. A simple demonstration might be take a deep breath in, let that go. Do that a couple times. Even taking a moment to shift gears, to focus your awareness to how you sleep, taking a few deep breaths around that will start to lower your overall level of stress, your overall level of anxiety. When those things start to come down as well, it becomes easier to sleep. It becomes easier to turn off at night. When the background level of stress and anxiety, when that volume is turned down, sleep becomes easier, health becomes easier, everything becomes easier. So any exercise that calls on you to find a moment to relax will benefit you in this regard. Specifically, we get back to this idea of a few deep breaths, you let go, you relax. And you just tell yourself, for just a moment, I'm going to go inside. For just a moment, I'm going to use my imagination to tap into what is great about sleep. So maybe you take a moment and you visualize what it's like to be really comfortable in bed, to drift off easily, naturally, quickly, as you would want it to happen, as it has happened for you in the past when it went really well. See that, feel that, experience that for just a moment. Your mind spends so much time worrying about how badly you sleep. Give yourself the benefit of a minute or two of seeing and feeling what it's like when it goes really well. Change that expectation. When you start to imagine it going well, you can start to expect it going well. And it may not be like flipping a switch, but as you do this over time, it's like steeping a bag of tea. These ideas, these images, these suggestions start to take root in your mind, and your behavior, your experience of your experience will start to change. So imagine what it's like to drift off, to sleep deeply and easily. Imagine what it's like to wake up feeling energized, feeling refreshed, feeling ready for the day. Imagine what that's like. Imagine seeing yourself from the outside as that happens. Imagine being in that experience. Play with both of those perspectives to see what feels better over the course of a minute or two or three. You can even give yourself 5 minutes to imagine what it's like. Whatever your issues are, if you're someone who wakes up in the middle of the night and has difficulty going back to sleep, give yourself a chance to visualize, to imagine, to experience what it's like to have that go really well. Instead of telling yourself you're somebody who wakes up in the middle of the night and has trouble going back to sleep, tell yourself for just a minute or two that you're someone who wakes up in the middle of the night on occasion. You go back to sleep easily, without any trouble at all. That your mind can't wait to go back to sleep on those occasions when you wake up in the middle of the night. Adjust your expectations. Your expectation doesn't need to be, I sleep 8 hours solid every night. Your expectation may be, I fall asleep easily, I get great deep sleep, I wake up feeling refreshed. Focus on those points. Imagine what it would be like to experience that. Step into that experience. And don't wait till when you're going to bed to do it. Do it in the morning. Do it in the afternoon. Start to set up your mind to step into a successful experience. The more you imagine it, the more you experience it internally, the easier it will be to shift this expectation, to shift these beliefs around how you sleep, how well you sleep, how deeply you sleep. Tap into the power of your subconscious to reprogram those habits, to reprogram those expectations, and to reprogram the language you've been using with yourself around how you sleep. Telling yourself how you sleep, how easily you sleep, how well you sleep. I hope that makes sense. I hope this connects with you on not just an intellectual level, but also an emotional level. When we tap into some of these emotions, it's going to be very emotional, how we sleep, how well we sleep, how stressed out we get about it. We tap into some positive associations, some positive conditioning, some positive expectations, start to shift the entire experience. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. If you have any questions, you can leave them on the page. If you have any questions, you can contact me directly. If you would like some help on a one-to-one basis in terms of adjusting your expectations around sleep or some specialized, customized sleep coaching, I'm right here. Happy to help. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's helping people get better sleep so that they can loosen the screws on stress and anxiety. Okay, that's it for today's live mini workshop. I know it was a bit impromptu, a bit spur of the moment, but I feel it was an important topic for us to touch on and a topic we will revisit in the future if it's one that has resonance for you. It's one I know certainly speaks to me. Changing my expectations around sleep and around rest was a real game changer for me, and it's something I see have a noticeable positive impact on the people I work with day in, week in, day out, week out. So thanks again. My name is Jordan Schatz. This is Loosen the Screws live mini workshop. We'll be back again next week. If there's anything you would like to see covered here, let me know. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.